Hey, how's it going? Just indulging in a little Genesis today. You know, they truly don't make games nowadays like they used to. It's really interesting. You know, there is kind of a subculture these days on trying to make newer games look like the old ones, and I greatly appreciate that, but man, if only we could, go back and tap into that mentality from back then. Man, what a time, right? I'll tell you. Hello? Thanks. This is just a QR code. What am I Okay. I'll go scan it, I guess. Jesus! Hello everybody and welcome back to the Veras channel here in the year of our Lord 2025. So you know how on this channel we're all a big fan of indie games and fan games and all the smaller games that tend to go unnoticed. So today I figured, hey, why not make a video that talks about a few more of those, because the last time we did this was the Sage video for last year and a lot of people seemed to like that, and I enjoyed making it a lot, and I enjoyed talking about games that no one probably would have seen if I didn't talk about them. So I wanted to do it again. We've got a bunch of really cool games lined up for you today, so without further ado, let's just jump right into them. But for the first one, we gotta go to a very special place. So everybody focus, clear your mind, think, and let's head there. And we're here. We're in outer space. Isn't that crazy? I can't breathe. And that intro sequence alone has sold me. The first game we'll be taking a look at today is a fan game called Sonic Galactic, which was made by Star Team. I've actually seen this game floating around a little bit as soon as I discovered it, and honestly, it's no surprise why. The main menu screen is kind of fun. It kind of gives me like a Dragon Ball Z vibe to it. Obviously, I had to go into the options just to see what we had available. The only thing that this game doesn't have that kind of bothers me is that there's no full screen mode. One other thing I also noticed is that this game has a 4-player mode, which is very interesting. I believe it is similar to a competition mode. I unfortunately do not have anybody to play with, so I will not be testing out this mode today. Wait, hold on a second. Is that the fucking Cartridge Crusaders? As I mentioned earlier, this game has multiple playable characters, so let's run through them, shall we? We got Sonic, Tails, Knuckles, Fang, and a fan-made character named Tunnel the Mole. At least I'm assuming they're fan-made. I've never seen them before in the comics or the games or anything, but honestly, with how well they designed the portrait and how well the sprite work is done with it, they fit right in. Like I said earlier, the sprite work is simply gorgeous. The movement and environments are also very, very spectacular. And the music, oh, the music, listen to that. Extremely soothing. Each character handles very nicely and the game caters to their special abilities, and each one of them is just as satisfying to play as the other. Sonic has his new drop dash as normal, but he can also use his drop dash on a vertical wall for extra height, and he can jump off of it for extra platforming possibilities. Also, his shield abilities are mapped to the second action button, which is nice so that you can either use the drop dash or the shield simultaneously. Tails is pretty standard, he's got his flight abilities and everything, but you can also cancel his flight in the middle of it, so you can just drop back down in a ball and destroy enemies, which is a really, really nice touch that I really wish Sega would use more often. Knuckles as well is pretty standard, he's got his gliding, his climbing, but he can also roll and spin dash right out of his gliding instead of waiting for the animation, which is a huge quality of life thing that I feel like Sega constantly overlooks. I feel like they're just trying to stay way too true to the original where he just lands, he stops, and he gets up. But if the game is about momentum, keep the momentum going. Fang's only real special ability is that he has his cork gun, which basically allows him to double jump, and he can shoot into narrow spaces, but only downward. So there isn't a whole lot to his playstyle, but it's simple and fun, and I like that. Tunnel, on the other hand, is a very unique character made specifically for this game. He can tunnel into the ground and launch out of the ground to gain extreme height and even burrow into destructible walls. He can even do this weird burrow jump right into another burrow jump. It's actually really cool and makes for some very interesting platforming. After the tutorial, we get a really nice cutscene that sets the stage and introduces us to Tunnel and then launches us right into the game. Almost immediately, I found a special stage and it warped me to a 3D looping stage where you're required to collect rings by grabbing them on the ground or defeating enemies to get this game's versions of the emeralds. Unfortunately, I failed because I missed the exit on my last loop because all of the colors started blending together and I got overstimulated. I also noticed that checkpoints have special stages as well, like in Sonic 2 and 3. But when I entered it, my game crashed. Oops, that's fine, we'll just boot the game back up. On this run, I actually got the Galactic Gem this time, which is what the Chaos Emeralds are called in this game. And I am now starting to get a handle on these special stages, which is awesome. And as soon as I collected my Galactic Gem and it was about to return me to the stage, my game crashed again. Cool! Thankfully, my gem progress was saved, so I think I'll avoid the special stages on both the checkpoints and the big golden rings, just for the time being to be safe. The levels in this game are so fun to run through, and the momentum maintained keeps the good times rolling as we blast through with true Sonic speed. And excuse me as I get burned by this flame-throwing crab. This game honestly feels like if somebody took Sonic Triple Trouble, gave it a sequel, and then gave it the Sonic Mania treatment. It's really well designed. Eggman? That cheeky shit tickler, what's he doing back there? Oh god, he's a spinning top now. Excuse me, sir, but I would like to get off the ride. Huh. Interesting. Not only do the acts lead into each other, but the worlds do as well. Oh, well, that's very interesting. Is that a bomb salmon? Oh my god! We then go into our next zone, which is underwater. Great. However, thankfully, there are bubble flowers that temporarily give you air. Such a great evolution of Sonic underwater traversal. Oh my god, that's actually a fantastic idea. I know bubble shields actually exist in the Sonic games, but honestly, this, like, temporary bubble shield while you're underwater kind of works a little better, honestly. I even found a leaf shield in a lobster that shoots lasers. These levels, by the way, are long. In fact, my timer started saying overtime I went so long. I've just been having an underwater chase with this destructive force of a crab. Seriously, what the hell is wrong with the sea life in this world? Honestly, as much as I would love to keep playing and gushing about this game, we've got some more ground to cover, so in case you want to download this demo, and yeah, this is a demo, you can head to their website and download it from there. Honestly, guys, I don't even know what to say. You're doing a fantastic job, and maybe when the full game releases, I'll give it a full review, but yeah, I don't know, I guess just fix the game crashing bugs and you'll be right as rain. Thank God we're out of the ocean now. Whew. I don't know if I can handle any more underwater shenanigans. So, let's just head right into our next game. So, where... What? What? What the fuck am I supposed to do with this? If you thought the fish shenanigans would end with Sonic Galactic, you'd be wrong. The Big Catch is a 3D action platformer developed by Filet Group, nice name, where you play as a crow, I think, and your main weapon is a fishing rod. Very similar to how Yooka-Laylee originally released with that beta build room that you can kind of mess around in. I believe it was called a toy box. This game, The Big Catch, released a demo called the Tackle Box, where you can kind of run around and explore the world that they have so far and kind of get a feel for the game before the final one comes out. And the title screen of this game kicks off very ominously. My hair's not moving. The game opens with our character walking a long, windy path, and then it gives me the controls when he reaches his destination, so naturally I decided to immediately turn around and run back down the path. Along the way, I found that this game has a cinematic camera, so that means I can make the game look like this. Eventually the game got sick of my shit, killed me, and sent me to where I was supposed to be. That's 9 minutes I'll never get back. I also found out that the cinematic cam is a lock-on cam, and I found this out because I kept smacking this object here thinking it was a training dummy, only to realize it was a sign on the other side. The PS2 style graphics here and cartoony animation lends itself very well to the game style, and it's done very well. The game revolves around momentum, so naturally the controls fit well with that goal. You can jump, slide, grind, spin, swim, thwack things with your rod, and grab things and throw things with your rod. To increase your movement in this game, your fishing rod also acts as a grappling hook. You can also balance on pointed edges, climb poles, and cross ropes, very similar to how the Sly Cooper games work. It's a bit weird to get used to at first, but when you do, it feels pretty natural. However, the main event of this game is obviously catching fish, which you have to lure to the shore with this weird hook-shaped food, and then catch it while it runs on legs, and then you smack it and you store it in your hat. Oh, hello, I guess I caught this person's attention now. Oh, and they left. Also, props to whoever came up with this fishing rod climb back up system. You are a legend. Seriously, the amount of times you will fall down trying to do this platforming only to try to get all the way back up with the controls. Yeah, no, whoever did this deserves a raise. All right, well, it's time to get let out into the overworld, and oh my God, this place is huge! In fact, it is so huge that you have to hook sandworms just to traverse this place. My God, this map is massive. They gave me a compass, for Christ's sake. As I explored this sandy hellscape in a fishing game, I came across my first set of buildings. And the first fish that I came across out here makes Ape Escape look like a cakewalk. I mean, oh my God, I'm supposed to use these trampolines to kind of like corner it, but they just keep slowing down and I keep just barely missing it. I swear to God, he just keeps dodging just at the last minute. I keep getting within my reach. God damn it! Never in my life have I hated fishing and trampolines more than right now. This game reminds me a lot of Spyro the Dragon with its enemy and NPC movements, and Ape Escape with its strategic planet and capture mechanics. But you know, if the game hated you, like once you were really good friends, but then you killed its dog and spit in its open grave. After an embarrassing amount of time, I finally caught the fucker. I'm finally moving on now and catching another worm taxi. The skill floor for this game is pretty high. There's a lot of understanding and controls you have to master to play this game, which for someone like me who does this often isn't as much of a big deal, but for new players it can be daunting and frustrating, especially with some of the guesswork required for some of the puzzles and the consistent yet very sensitive momentum. There's no fall damage in this game, thankfully, but some of these puzzles feel like they almost require a knowledge of the jank that this game has in order to work. Moving in the overworld is a lot of fun though. Kind of reminds me of Wind Waker's Great Sea exploration, and there's even boost gates to help speed up the process. Also, for a game about fishing, a lot of these fish do not show up in water. Like this guy, I mean, he could have easily jumped right into the water, but chose to stay on the lily pads to purposefully make it easier to catch him. The platforming really starts to spike in difficulty here, and falling feels twice as painful as it would in most other 3D platformers, seeing how hard it is to even make a small amount of progress. Maybe I just suck at the game, I don't know, but I'm finding it harder and harder to keep my interest. The controls kind of get super specific, and the physics are a bit too slippery to keep up with the tight platforming. With some small tweaks to the base platforming controls, I really think it could improve the game quite a bit, though the fishing rod mechanics are already pretty good, so I wouldn't mess with those. The style, graphics, and audio design are all really well done. I don't think those need to change at all, and this game has a hell of a lot of potential, and I think if the devs just keep plugging away at it, they'd honestly have something really special here. Again, this is only a demo, so when the game fully releases, maybe I'll give it another fair chance. Alright. Oh. Hey, taxi! Developed by Panic Arcade, Yellow Taxi Goes Vroom is a 3D platformer where you play as a fucking car. Yup, we've officially hit that part of the video. Interesting. Okay, that kind of a tame title screen based off of my knowledge of what this game is supposed to. Oh, there it is. We open on Super Mario over here, invading our personal space. And then we are dropped right into the game. The controls are very simple. Drive with A or RT, reverse with B or LT, and steer with the joystick. That's it. It's not rocket science. It's just a video game where you platform as a car. Apparently the story here is that an oil company named Tosla, very subtle, is polluting oil with gears. But we can harness the energy of those gears for ourselves to teleport us to their headquarters and stop them, I guess. And the company's CEO is Alien Mosk, and he's planning an invasion. And apparently I'm the only one who can stop him because I'm powered by a spring. Perfect plot. No notes. Yeah, I mean, look at this. It's a 3D platform where you play as a wind-up car. What am I supposed to say about this? The controls are a bit slippery, like your car is constantly drifting, but it's easy to get used to. Plus, the game is charmingly married to its style and keeps it intact throughout the whole experience. From the parallax 8-bit backgrounds to the sound effects to the pause menu being a Windows window. The only complaint I really have here is that the colors are extremely blown out and the game is blurred and stretched to mimic being on a CRT, which, you know, is a cool aesthetic choice, but Christ, does it hurt the eyes. Wow. Taxis are more dangerous than I thought. You can even unlock cosmetics and new moves in this game. Well, apparently, technically, I had the move the whole time. It's just that Mario over here forgot to tell me about it. One of the moves you can get is a dash, which will basically act as your jump mechanic for the game. Essentially, you just dash off of ramps and up walls to collect what's in the area, which is really cool as it plays into you being a car. It comes in handy for exploration, like where I found this room where Mario keeps his secret painting stashed. God, I just love breaking into the Louvre. It's like they leave it unlocked. What the fuck is that? Oh, okay. Now I'm in a crazy taxi-inspired level where the people I pick up are helping me stay alive. And that's actually kind of a fun twist. Guess I'll deliver them to their destinations while the innocent bystanders scream as I plow through them at top speeds. I also found a hat store. So that was nice. The NPCs in this town are actually very interesting. Anything from a pizza delivery guy to a rat woman to Mr. T. We then encounter our first boss of the game, and his name is Bomb Boss, and he is very relatable. The trick to this boss is that you have to lure his own bombs back into him to get rid of them. And I did it by complete accident and won. This game honestly possesses a lot of charm, and the unique dialogue and concepts behind its controls and execution make for a fun and tightly made experience. It's also one of God's most batshit crazy games ever made, but it's fine because it's really well made and really fun. There's a lot more to explore in this game that I did not cover, so make sure you head on over to Steam and buy it immediately because I honestly had a lot of fun with this game. I had to stop because I had a horrific stomach bug, but I encourage you to go check out the game and play it for yourself. Good job, Panic Arcade. Honestly, all the games we played here today were a lot of fun, and there's a lot of potential with the 2 demos that I played today, and the finished game that I played today, being Yellow Taxi, was incredibly fun as well. Make sure to head to the description to find the website link for Sonic Galactic, and to find the Steam links for Yellow Taxi Goes Vroom, and The Big Catch. Like I always say, indies are such a gold mine for interesting concepts and really fun games, and I feel like that although there is a big spotlight on indies these days, I still feel like a lot of them go unnoticed because there's so many being made at this point. That's part of the reason why I like doing this little series, is because I like to just kind of highlight the ones that I happen to find, or ones that I hear about, or ones that kind of become popular, just to kind of give my own take on it and, you know, see what it's like. But anyway, guys, that's gonna do it for today's video, so thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Catch you later.